I know how many heart beats per minute that my heart should be at a resting rate. So when you have medical anxiety, you've been through this enough. You've done your research. You went to the doctor many times. You've Googled it. You've done so much. So you know some things. You've learned a lot along the way. So I know how many beats my heart should be at a resting rate, or what it should be for a normal person at a resting rate without any conditions, right? So feeling that, I knew I was exceedingly and abundantly over my resting heart rate. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Hope, and for everyone who's been tuning in and going along this journey with me, I say welcome to you as well. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna just jump right in today. This has been a week. These Invisaligns are so annoying but necessary, so if I sound crazy at some point, don't worry about it. We know on this channel we talk about all things anxiety, depression, fear, and a little bit of postpartum, right? Of course, we're going to talk about encouragement, how to get through, how to still live your best life, because life doesn't stop because these things exist, right? This wasn't the planned video for this week, but it's the necessary video for this week. One of my commenters asked if I could talk about triggers. So it's sort of divine intervention. Someone requested to hear about triggers. I was triggered, you guys, unknowingly. My experience triggered. So I know some of mine. You may know some of yours as well. But 3 definites for me are control, order, and perfectionist. Yeah. Even learning a couple of years ago that perfection don't exist. Now, you would think that would be obvious to know. No one's perfect, that I know, but I didn't associate with being an imperfect person, meaning that I can't perform perfectly. Imperfect person trying to perform perfectly. Crazy, right? But that was me. I had an assignment this week. I've done it before. I haven't done it a lot since the pandemic, but I've done it before and did it very well, and grew to sort of not master it, but got good at it where it was in second nature. Control the order, control how it goes, so it goes smoothly, efficiently, quickly, all the things, right? So having not done this since the pandemic, like I stated, the first time doing it, my mind automatically reverted to how I did it before. What I've already learned, the situation and the task hasn't changed, so I can do it, right? So I'm doing it. I assess it. I see how it's looking. It's looking out of order. Number 1 trigger. It was looking messy. It wasn't moving efficiently enough for me where I saw results, right? So what I do, devise a plan. So I was working on it with someone. So I sent them a message. Look, let's set it up. You do this, I do that. And then after I'm done with doing this, I'll catch back up with you and we'll work on that one together. Let's just see some progress in all areas of the assignment and not just go in order, because going straight down, it's like some things were quick action. So for me, seeing results doing the quick action things, it's like things are moving. So let me get these quick ones out, and then we'll go to the things that take a little longer together, and then we'll have the job completed. That was my process. That was my order, my control, and trying to be perfect, meaning keeping the times good and meet the goal prior to it needed to be met, right? That was it. But while I was doing this what I mean, when something is so rooted in you and you've been doing it so long, it's a part of you and it's growing. The more you grow, it's growing with you. So until it's plucked up at the root, where you're able to spot it immediately, it's in all areas of your life. It can creep into all areas of your life, not just one thing where you say, okay, I realize I can't plan a party and it comes out perfect. But the perfectionist spirit, the control and the order isn't just in planning an event. It's in all areas of your life. So I never even thought that I was operating in any of them. I never thought for a moment that I was operating in those things. My mind was just, I know the assignment, let's do it, and I'm going to excel in it. Let's go. I haven't done it in a while. I was sort of excited to do it. And on my first time doing it, I want to do well in it. That's just who I am, right? I was able to get through the whole day doing what I was doing, coming up with all that strategy, doing this and doing that. But when I tell you, after completing it, after doing what I did, and when I say I went right back in the mode prior to pandemic, it's like I never missed a beat to me. I never missed a beat. I was working quickly. I knew what I was doing. I was stern. It was this, it was that. Just order. Doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not going into very much detail because of what I do, but nevertheless, it was in order, doing things proficiently, correctly, and just staying on point, one behind the other. Boom, next, boom, 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 like that. It didn't bother me all day long. It didn't bother me all day. I didn't feel angst about it. I didn't feel uncomfortable. Once I devised the plan, all was well with me. So I thought, the end of the day, everything's completed. It's a wrap, like they say. Then my body was able to just say, okay, you did it. No problem. You did it, girl. Yeah, okay. It was not 20 minutes. It was not 20 minutes after everything was done and my body and I shut the mindset off of the hustle and the bustle. I got up, went to pick up something. On my way back to sit down, one of the worst panic attacks ever came upon me immediately. Immediately, guys. And I was walking back to my chair and I was like, what? Why are you here? Like, what are you here for? I'm not even thinking about anything. I'm not stressing about anything. I'm not worried about anything. Why are you here? So immediately, it's called panic attack for a reason. I'm panicking like, now I'm concerned. Why is it here? Why did it hit me all of a sudden? What happened? I wasn't thinking about anything. I didn't, bring it on per se. And I couldn't even gather my things in front of me. I just immediately got up and went to alert someone and was like, I think I'm having a panic attack. And they immediately went, helping me, put a cold rag on me, and I already knew to breathe. So I'm breathing to the best of my ability in, just like I told you guys last, in for 4, holding for 4, out for 4, doing it over and over and over. But my heart was beating and racing so fast, I could feel it in my throat. All I had to do literally was like this. Not this, not none of that. I felt it in my throat, just how fast. I mean, it was beating. I couldn't even count the beats. Okay? So from someone who's had panic attacks, for me, of course you're going to feel it. But I know how many heartbeats per minute that my heart should be at a resting rate. When you have medical anxiety, you've been through this enough. You've done your research. You went to the doctor many times. You've Googled it. You've done so much. You know some things. You've learned a lot along the way. I know how many beats my heart should be at a resting rate or what it should be for a normal person at a resting rate without any conditions, right? Feeling that, I knew I was exceedingly and abundantly over my resting heart rate. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys. I was so nervous. I told who was with me, I said, I think you should just call 911. Like, just call 911. And I keep like an oximeter in my purse for those reasons, to monitor it, to know just, my oxygen, and I got that from my dad. So taking care of him and needing to know what was going on with him if he felt the way. So now I just keep one with me all the time, and it has come in handy so much to help other people, not just for me. I've had people come to my desk at work in the past, can I use your blood pressure kit? Because unfortunately a lot of people do have high blood pressure and you don't get signs all the time. So she was like, can I use it? I was like, sure. So that's there, leave that there for anyone who want to use it. For the oximeter, I had to use it on my aunt before. So it's just knowing the tools, having them in place, whatever you need to make you calm while you're experiencing these things, going along this journey, you do them. No one has to know. And if they do, good. But you do what you need to do along the journey to make you comfortable until you're at a place where you don't need them or to do that. But I knew in that moment, baby, I ain't checking, because that would have really sent me through the roof. I said, I am not checking. I already know it's not where it should be, right? And I said, okay. So I was like, where's my phone? I need to call my husband. I need him to come in, just pick me up. I don't want him to go to no ambulance without my husband being here. So I couldn't find my phone. She couldn't find my phone. That's why when you're panicking, you're not totally present. You're all a little discombobulated a little bit because you're just so fearful now. So all the while I had taken off my sweater. For me, anxiety, stress triggers me to have a flash. I don't get flashes just because I'm going through menopause. I get them if I'm stressed or anxious or clearly a panic attack, right? So I'm hot, I'm overheating, so I had to come out of my sweater. All the while it was in my sweater pocket. So I finally get my phone, call my husband. He's talking to me. He was like, basically like, we've been here before, babe. You know what to do. Just breathe. Sit back in your chair. Who's with you? How are you feeling? So he's learned all the questions to ask me and just keeping the tone mellow and good. No excitement. I was like, where are you? How far are you from here? And going on and on and on. And he was like, you are fine. You breathe. Just breathe. He was like, did you check your pulse yet? I was like, no, I don't want to check it. It's going to be He said, it's all right. You don't have to check it right now. Just be calm. And he just changed the subject and talked about other things where I had to answer him back. And he was like, you still breathing? You breathing in your nose, out your mouth? I was like, yes, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing away. Nevertheless, long story short, the panic attack feels like it's, oh my gosh, it feels like it's lasting for much longer than it actually is. It really does. It feels like it's lasting so long. But in all actuality, if you count it, it could be a matter of minutes. But that's not how you feel while you're in it. Whenever you're having a panic attack, drink cold water. Cold water slows your heart rate down. Or sometimes if you're at home or whatever, you can open your freezer door, let the cold air hit you. Something about that diverts you from focusing on it so much that it naturally lowers and regulates things, right? Eventually, I did check it. When I felt it go less here, ended up being like 105 beats per minute. It was 105. So clearly, I know it was well over what it should have been, which is normally 60 to 75. If you're okay, 60 to 75 resting rate, you're good. Any activities, of course, it's going to go up, but a resting rate, 60 to 75. And the older you get, sometimes it'll be 59, 58, but that's still okay as well. But generically, that part. So even with the 101 or 105, I was like, that's still high, but it's better than what it was. I wasn't in any pain. It was just the fast beating of it in your chest. You could feel it in your back, feel it in your throat, and none of the breathing was working at all. None of the breathing was working at all, you guys, in that moment. I got home safe. My friend stayed with me. She's like, I could drive you home. I could follow you. I can do all the things. I love her. I love her anyway. But I love her for recognizing me and seeing me in a vulnerable moment and knowing what was needed, staying calm, just being there for you. And that's what you need when you're going through that. You don't need a whole lot of people and they getting more excited and worked up than you. I know she was praying because that's what we do anyway. But she stayed with me and we sat there to she sat with me in my car till almost 7 o'clock p.m. after work, 7 o'clock. We read scripture, we talked, we laughed, we did all the things. She was like, now check it again. Now she's like, okay, check it again. So I checked it again. It was still a little elevated, but I know that came from the conversations that we were having because they were intense conversations. So that probably wasn't good to be yakking and being so passionate about what I was talking about, because that didn't afford me to calm down. But panic attacks are so draining. They're unpredictable. No matter how many times you go through it, you feel the same way because you're caught off guard most times. And like I said, when I say a resting rate to 100 and whatever it was, out of nowhere, but it wasn't out of nowhere. We're going to go back. The triggers. So I wasn't operating out of one of my triggers. I wasn't operating out of 2 of my triggers. I was operating a whole 8 hours out of 3 of my triggers. All 3 at the same time. And it's like, let's say sip and paint. When you're painting, you're so focused on that painting or your coloring that you don't realize it, but you've blocked everything else out of your mind because you are so focused on that painting or coloring, making it beautiful, staying in the line, picking your colors wisely, that you're not meditating on nothing negative or bad but that painting because you want to stay in the lines, right? Soon as you finish your painting or coloring and you put your book down, within a couple of minutes, your mind reverts right back to whatever it was. Whatever you were worrying about, stressing about, thinking about, concerned about, whatever, your mind goes right back to it. So you were able to focus on something and it took over everything else. But once you finished that one thing, all the other ones came back like, we was just waiting till you got done because we ain't gone nowhere, baby. We right here at the door. That's what happened. So even though I was operating in all 3 of my triggers, they were suppressed because I was focused on what I was doing, that they didn't have a chance to take over anything because I blocked them out because I didn't know I was operating in them anyway. So they couldn't take effect because I was focused on what I was doing. That's why I was like, what's wrong? I didn't do anything. I'm not worrying about But once I was able to calm down, allow my heart rate to come down, and think about what could it, should it, would it have been. First it was like, did it happen because I hadn't done this in so long? Yeah and no. Yeah, because it prompted me to be triggered because of my issues that are dormant, whether I'm just learning about them, whatever the case may be. Yes, but my mind didn't feel like the task was too big because I knew how to do it. So I'm like, okay, let's go. But not acknowledging it in a realistic way. Because what I did was used my triggers that can cause anxiety, control. I wanted to control the outcome. I wanted to control how fast things went along. I wanted to control the results. Okay. And then the perfectionism. It's going to work because I'm here and I'm doing it and I'm going to give it my best and I'm going to do well. I'm going to do exceedingly and abundantly like I'm God. I'm going to do this. And then order. It was messy. It just was all out of order. No one had taken an initiative to say, okay, let's do this, let's do that. No one was working together to bring about the result. It was just, you do this, it will fit in where we get in type of thing. I don't like working or doing anything without order. So all three of those things was happening at the same time, even though I was functioning while I was doing it. So once my body relaxed, they all three just boom, I felt like an explosion had taken place. It was horrible, you guys. So when I'm talking, though, I'm here to encourage and inspire, uplift, to give you tools, to give you insight, to share my journey. I still go through it too at times, even knowing what I know, because sometimes you're not aware that you are doing it or operating in one of those things that cause you to have anxiety. So you're always going to be on a road to becoming the best you that you can be, right? And you accept those things. That's why I always say, give yourself grace. Be patient with yourself. You're working through some things that have been there, like for me, since a child. I'm 54 years young. So that's a lot of ground to cover, to unthink and relearn and retrain your thinking process on how you've been all your life. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. It's what it is. And that really opened my eyes to be like, for one, you're getting older. That's a factor in anything. And two, you have to be okay with doing whatever you can do. It is enough. If I did my best, it's enough. If I need to go slower and gradual, it's like working out. I should not even have handled the whole thing that way. You hadn't done this in 5 years. You gonna just come in here and do whatever like nothing never happened, or things haven't happened in your life to make those factors or those triggers worse than what they were even before the pandemic? Through grieving, through so many things, and all of these things that happen, you can't control them. You can't make any sense of them. You don't have any order in none of them. So you're working on something privately that you have no control over, and then you're trying to use those same things to still function. You know how a bad relationship, you want to let it go, but then you hold on to it too, like it's a safety net. It's become to keep you prepared and keep you in control of things and all that. But no, what I should have done was just say, okay, I should have had my prep talk with myself before I started the assignment, which I will do going forward. So when I'm assigned something, regardless of experience, I've done it before, I'm going to don't walk into this 25 years old. Don't walk into this expecting it to be smooth sailing. Don't walk into this expecting other people to look at it or view it or handle it the way that you would do it. Don't have those expectations. Give yourself some grace. And you start off where you are, and then you build back up to that. But that's not going to make me say now, I can't do that. No, I know now, one at a time. One at a time, literally. So at first, I wasn't going to share that. But then what would be the purpose of this channel? I created this not to look like I'm holier than thou, that I'm over it now and it doesn't bother me anymore. I didn't create this channel to act like I have it all put together and I have all the answers. I didn't create this channel to act like I'm an expert or anything like that. I created this channel to share my experiences, my trials, my testimonies. We overcome by the word of our testimonies. And so showing you that we all are going to have vulnerable moments when it may happen. And it is okay. We are on our journey to recovery together, literally. And this is a perfect example of that. even knowing what I know in that moment, baby, it didn't change how I felt at all. So this weekend, I have been intentionally back to self-care, intentionally doing absolutely nothing, intentionally allowing myself to rest and recover from what I went through, acknowledging how it made me feel, thinking about the 3 triggers that caused it to come about in the first place. So now I know to look for them in every area of my life, not just when I'm intentionally planning something, or I'm doing something, even with my business, when I'm trying to set goals and do this and do that, I'm intentionally doing that. But in this particular thing, I was like, I know how to do this. I'm good. I don't need to use any kind of pep talk, motivation, and all of that. I just jumped in, and I shouldn't have. And now I know that. So I just shared that to tell someone that if you're struggling in a certain area, don't force it. Every time you learn of a trigger, just because you learn of it, it doesn't mean you have a handle on it. It doesn't mean that it won't affect you that way again. So you have to take your time one by one, walk it out, breathe, take your time to yourself. Self-care. Needed every bit of those days to do nothing. Because even the day after the panic attack, I had the tightness in my chest. Because it was beating so fast, the muscles and stuff was just so tight. Like in my first video, if you go back and watch that, when I said that I felt like the pressure in my chest all day, every day, for months and months and months and months, because I was undiagnosed, that's how I felt the day after the panic attack. So I'm familiar with that feeling, but it doesn't make it any easier or any better to get through, because it's still uncomfortable. So I knew that day was a day to do nothing. To do nothing, just be still, relax, let everything, loosen up naturally like it should be. Watch lighthearted movies, nothing all that action and noise. Just be calm. I was blessed enough where my family came over this weekend, and Lord knows I needed them. Just them being here, us laughing, watching movies, talking, we were eating. My godson is so bad, but in a good way, because he was an awesome distraction. He's funny. He's a hot mess, but that's my baby. I needed that to pour back into my cup, to keep me going, so that when my work week starts, it's like, okay, we're going to take it slow. And it is all right. It is all right. You don't have to meet every goal, every demand, every expectation when you're going through this. And you communicate with whoever needs to know, so they will know. And you just be the best version of you, okay? So I shared my story, but in lighter terms. Like I told you, I always have to have scents and foods or music. They all are a part of it, the healing journey. So when I listen to smooth jazz music, instrumental, it's just calming. Or even when they show the pretty scenes, the water background, that helps. But just nice, calm, set my atmosphere and my mood so that I can just not think about nothing but just feel what I'm listening to. Right? So the scent of the week for me, because this is what helped me from the 3 days ago to now, is my candles chill lounge. Because that's exactly what I needed to do, was chill out, y'all. But here we go. I have my 6 ounce of chill lounge here, and the 10 ounce chill lounge. Thank you so much. I needed them. The scents were so helpful. And the room and car spray chill lounge. This was my scent for the past 3 days. Everywhere, every room. Look, everybody gonna be in chill lounge. If I have to be in chill lounge, everybody in the chill lounge. These will be on my website at it'sinyourpraise.com. They all are 20% off until supplies last. I'll just try to offer a scent of the week when I do a video, whatever was helping me get through that particular week based upon what I've gone through, how I felt. Because like I said, scents, atmosphere, all those things do play into it subconsciously, whether you are aware of it or not. So I hope that me sharing my story and that you were able to get something out of it, some nuggets out of it, so you can, that's relatable to you, and how when things happen and you don't know why you're worked up and what's wrong with me, think about some of your triggers. All of us, of course, have different triggers, but if you have control and anxiety is just fear of the future anyway, of the unknown, things you can't control. And if you're a perfectionist or like order, and that's something, and it's not regular, it's like an obsessive way, like it has to be this way, or it's all or nothing. Like that's how I am. It's all or nothing, right? But that's not good. So we're going to work on undoing that. We're good enough. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, just like we are. Nothing broken, nothing missing. He knows all about it, and he don't make no mistakes. So I don't need to be in control of everything. I don't need to be trying to be perfect at absolutely nothing. Even this video, I said we just gonna have a real conversation on today. That I don't even have no notes. The only thing I wrote down was my triggers, 3 of them. The other ones we'll share later, but these are definitely 3 that my top 3. They are my top 3 that I've had so long. I came up with them, like I told you in the previous video, as a vice to cope, to deal with things that I did not like. That's when I picked them up. If I didn't like how something was, and I figure in order for me to control it, I'm going to do this. So I just started that off young, way back from different life experiences. And as an adult, they only grew. The older I got, the more they grew. They didn't go anywhere because I wasn't aware of them. That's why you need to know your triggers. So even dealing with people, I have to know when to fold them. You can't argue with the fool. Proverbs tell you that. So when you see somebody with foolish ways or attitudes or whatever, why are you arguing with them? Please stop and don't. Because they still want to walk away with their head up like, I told you. And I'm like, you wrong. Don't do it. Save your energy and your time. Do not do it. It's just a lot of things along the way that the Bible, when I was a child, I acted like a child. Now that I'm an adult, I'll act like an adult. You shouldn't be still drinking milk. You ain't walking around with no bottle. The meat of it. Get to the root of your problems so that they won't continue to process you the way I was processed Thursday, baby. But nevertheless, I know it was a reason. It was for me to share. I don't know who this video will come across. I don't know who needed to hear or may have been spoken, but I pray that it finds you well, that it answers some questions for you. I pray that the words that I've spoken out of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in my Lord's sight, because that's why I do what I do. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, because when we are weak, that's when he's strong. So in my weakness, I get to say, come on now, you promised me, and wait for my help to show up, because he will, and he does, and he did for me during that. Remember, everything you need is in your praise, your joy, your peace, your happiness, your healing, your deliverance. Hey, everything. After all of that, who's sitting right here still have joy? Just because you have anxiety or depression or fear or anything that you have, it does not mean you don't have joy. You still have joy. Okay? Light always wins over darkness. I just wanted to share that. Please comment below if you know some of your triggers, or if you have any of the ones that I mentioned. Comment below and let me know. Don't forget the scent of the week, Chill Lounge. And we're going to get through this. We're going to thrive. This will absolutely get better. It has to, because we're acknowledging it. We're not running from it. It's not hiding. We're calling it out. Okay? Like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Help me get to where I'm trying to go, and we'll continue to grow together. So I love you. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk with you guys next week.